What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as you all know, I did end up doing the Crew Motorfest Summit. I'm also going to be doing the Crew 2 Summits as well. For this week, we are going to have They Are Coming, which is actually one of my favorite summits. You're also going to get the Raptor from Outer Space service vehicle, which I admit is one of my favorite trucks in the game. It's also going to be the only dually in the entire game, and it has a UFO in the back of it. How could you not like that, man? But we're also going to have a green edge tire there in gold, and also an epic Intrepid Outdoors rooftop piece as a silver reward. Once again, this is why I also think the summits here in the Crew 2 are just so superior to TCM. The next one, though, we're going to have a multicolored smoke for a platinum reward. Then you're going to get yourself the Fame Magnet Booster set for Rallycross, which is actually pretty useful. And I would say this summit's going to have a really nice mix of events, basically one of everything in there. The next one, though, is going to be the next Speed Tour. You're going to get yourself the Scorebreaker boosted for the lovely drag category, which is honestly a bit useless, not going to lie, but hey, why not go after it? Then in Platinum, you'll get yourself the Chevrolet Corvette C2 2.0 edition. That is actually a very cool car, not going to lie. After that, guys, we have the Speed Trip. You're going to get yourself a Nitro Chemist boosted for the Jetsprint. Now, I'm going to say right now that is 100% worth it if you do not have one. My goodness. Definitely go after that set, guys. It will make the jet sprint so much faster. You're then going to get yourself the Disco Underglow as a rare item there in gold. And also you're going to get yourself back to the 50s tint for silver. But moving over to the summit right now, let's take a look at this. And I do want to go over a couple of things here. So you're probably going to notice a really nice mix of events. You're going to have Jet Sprint, Rally Raid, which you actually have to use a Aerobatics plane in this one. I got around 3 minutes and 5 seconds. I could probably do a tad better, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the score and see where it does end up leading. I would probably say around 90,000 on this event is probably going to be fairly decent. One tip I can give on this event though, guys, is make sure you actually go down low enough and hit the objective. If you don't, you're probably going to miss it. Besides that though, we're also going to have a few other events here that I would say players are probably going to enjoy, but at the same time they're going to be like, bruh, that is most likely going to be the escape here. For this one, I did end up using the Proto Concept Pulse Performance. I probably could get a tad farther, but I normally don't push it in these escapes. You could probably get a tad farther with something like the lovely Hypercars, but I really do love the way the Alpha GP cars handle, so I did enjoy these a bit more. After that, though, we're going to have a low altitude here, which these are honestly pretty straightforward. I got around 30,000 points on, and legit, I was doing terrible on this one. I actually wasn't even that low to the ground. I went over like the rocks and all that. After that, guys, we're going to have a slalom. These are also going to be insanely straightforward, and you will most likely be a lot faster if you were to run something like a rally raid vehicle, not a rally cross like I did. But do not worry though, even running a rally cross, I still got 155,000 points. So at least it is still going to be fairly useful. And then for the next one though, we're going to have a jet sprint race. You will have to use the Proto rocket, which don't worry is actually one of the best jet sprints in the entire game. Really do love this one. But for this one though, guys, it is going to be in the swamp. So do be careful when going around the turns a tad faster, and also stay away from the edges. I did notice it is definitely going to slow you down a lot if you stay too close to the edge of the actual like land instead of being in the water. So do watch out for that. Then we're actually going to have a rally raid event here that is going to be no restriction. For me, I did end up using the lovely Ford F-150 SVT Raptor Enforcer unit. Easily what I would say is probably still one of the best rally raid trucks in the entire game. I would recommend it. It's not only going to be insanely fast, it handles really well, and it's going to be such a great overall package. Also, this is probably my favorite event in the entire Crew 2 game, like not even kidding. It is so dang fun doing this race. After that, we will then have a street race with the lovely Ariel Atom. It's also going to be the Pikes Peak race. This is actually going to be a fun one. There's a lot of turns in this, and I would say the Ariel Atom is actually going to be incredibly good. It handles really nice, it's fast, and I would say it's going to be a good overall car for the most part. Do be careful trying to cut some of the corners though, because being in the off-road areas can actually make you slower if you are trying to cut in that aspect. The next one though is going to be Rally Raid Forced Vehicle, which is of course the new actual truck we get. And I would say players are probably going to like this one, but a big tip I can give though, For this race, guys, be careful how much nitrous you actually use because it's very handy. Try to use it going down hills or going over jumps. And also, there's one tip I did want to give as well. This is actually going to go for basically every single race in the game, but for rally race specifically though, and even the Jetsprint, this is going to be insanely helpful. So heading into your menu, guys, go over to the driver part, or at least the pilot. I always say driver because of, the Crew Motorfest, but head over to icon points, guys. Now, the one you are looking for is actually going to be something called ventilated. This is such a great perk to have, guys. I 100% recommend it. This is actually going to give you nitrous refills when you're jumping. It is so dang helpful. And the funny thing is, I actually have a few of my parts on my rally raid build that's also running ventilated. It legit makes such a big difference. I would highly recommend having this active. And then for the last race here in the summit though, it is going to be with a hypercar, and it will be the Lamborghini Egoista. Probably said that wrong, but hey, this car is actually going to be insanely good with a chemist set. Now keep in mind the big land race is basically going to be fully highway though, so having a chemist set is going to make you that much quicker. If you don't have one, maybe slipstreaming somebody is probably going to be the more efficient way to get a higher score. For the most part though, this race is actually going to be fairly simple. Overall though, guys, do let me know what you think about the They Are Coming Summit in the comments below. This is easily one of my favorite summits. It's so dang fun. I love the events in it. And if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below.